Hey folks, it's Ari from Real World Explosion, and you are watching A Connection TV.
I'm the best. DGC review on YouTube.
I am Wesley the Crazy Man. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Twan Rose, and I'm here, and I'm queer, and who the hell cares? Y'all know what I'm saying out there? Y'all know? Now, I decided to give Wesley a little break because, you know, his straight acting, analytical ass is getting on my nerves with these damn reviews. So, I decided to be the queen to drop the tea on these whores of Real Housewives of Atlanta, namely speaking about particulars. Because you know, a lot of them are particular. But let's digest this particular episode like an anus does to a penis. What? Or like a vagina does to a penis. I'm not excluding my girls, my real girls. But girl, let's clock the tea. So, we start this episode off with Apollo, looking all like an Apollo would look. All light-skinned, tall, and muscular. Not that I'm over what he did to Brandon, because I'm not, okay? I don't believe in that type of behavior. The only thing that you should be beating up is the ass. Or the vagina for you ladies out there, for you ladies. But he's talking to Kenya Moore, or less, whatever suits your fancy. And they're talking about respect. Could have fooled me. The most respectful thing, Apollo, is not to be talking to this Kenya Moore or less without your wife present. That's the respectful thing. And Kenya Moore or less, the respectful thing is to respect your pussy. Keep it away from married dick. Especially on national TV, it's just not becoming. It's not cute. It's quite less. I mean, really, I really don't get it. They're talking about we respect each other. No, you don't, you don't. Because in post-confessionals, Kenya is always gunning for Apollo and Phaedra. So there's no respect there. Phaedra walks her ass up into the mix. And she's like, what's going on here? Really? You can't see? Your eyes are blind? I see what's going on here. Your husband is talking with a female where there was history in the past of there being a maybe type of situation about sex. That's what's going on here. That's not cute. Drag one of these bitches or drag them both. I got the bat in my hand. So, when Phaedra starts to talk, Apollo's like Saved by the Bell because Nene and Portia walks in. And Apollo leaves with his tight ass jeans on. I'm like, damn, I can see his scrotum print. Them jeans were so tight. Phaedra leaves, she goes to her room. She doesn't want to talk to Nene or Portia, and she's locked out because she doesn't have a key. I'm like, well bitch, why did you go to your room if you don't have a, well, okay, she needed to piss. Okay, well some girls do squat in the bushes. You can do that too, or bitch just go get a key. I wasn't understanding. Back at the other place, you know, Nene and Portia are trying to read Apollo in his tight white scrotum print jeans. And Apollo's like, I'm a grown man, I can do whatever the fuck I want to. All right, is that why he's in jail? Apollo decides to get a conscience and he goes to visit Phaedra, who's sitting outside because she doesn't have a key. Long story short, Apollo's like, I don't know what the fuck is your problem, but I'm going to chill and have a good time. And if you want to be childish, then fuck you. I'm like, well damn, is that a divorce? I don't understand. Was that a divorce just now? Because you just told me that you don't respect me as your wife. I'm sitting here having emotional outbursts and problematic issues because I told your punk ass not to do what you just did, and you clearly did it. Where's the respect for me? If I was Phaedra, I would have kicked him in his dick. I just would have. Apollo leaves talking about, well, I'm going to let you be miserable, and you're going to go off, and I'm going to do me, and you're going to do you. Phaedra's like, well, aren't you going to go get the key? Apollo's like, no, you go get the damn key. I'm like, what? Talking about jovial. Phaedra's like, jovial? Apollo's like, tomato, tomato. It's all the same difference. No, it's not, you dumb bitch. We meet Kenya and Lawrence. Lawrence is like adorning this frock that Peter calls it. This see-through sheer long kind of gown thing. And I'm like, all right, that's cute. Okay. What? It was cute. Peter seems to think that Lawrence looked beautiful. You know what? I think it's awesome that a Jamaican man can say to a queen that he's beautiful. That just shows a lot to me. Because typically Jamaicans don't really, they just don't. And it was just nice to see Peter in that light. Whether or not it was dim, there was a light there. So Kenya and the group, Cynthia, of course, wants to get the gossip and find out what happened last night because Cynthia wasn't there. But of course, Peter was, aka Patricia. She was there. But, Kenya explains the story. And then we get from edit to edit, Phaedra being apologized to by Apollo. And Kenya trying to explain what she was trying to do. I wasn't here for it. At the end of the day, Kenya, leave Apollo alone. Apollo, leave Kenya alone. That's it. It's very disrespectful to Phaedra. It just is. Apollo wants to make amends for speaking to Kenya more or less. And, he throws Phaedra a cute little soiree. A little surprise party. And it was cute. It was. The cake was beautiful with a clock and stuff on it. I couldn't really understand the relevance of that. Tomato, jovial. Whatever. But, yeah. So we get to the party. And, Phaedra's being Phaedra. She's not in the mood. She's not here for all of that. But she's blindfolded. They surprise her. They have a good time. Let's fast forward to the speeches. Candy says, you know what, I really appreciate you as a friend and I've gotten to know you and I value our friendship. So happy birthday, Phaedra. Everybody's like, oh. Apollo bring his punk ass up. And he says, and I quote, Phaedra, I want to thank you for being the mother of my 2 beautiful boys. You've given me 2 beautiful boys. And let's keep this moving. Thank you. I'm like, really? Is that all that you're going to say to me? On my birthday, that's all you're going to say to me is that I'm the mother of your children and let's keep this moving? Wow! I was just like, damn, Apollo. Damn. What if I was Kenya more or less? I wonder what he would have said. Y'all see the way Apollo looks at Kenya's pussy print? Y'all see it, he slides. There's always like a drip of drool going down the right corner of his mouth. And it dries up and just sits there looking ashy. Y'all know he's hot for Kenya more or less. Y'all know he is. Let's get to this couples conversation remake. Not really understanding why Kenya more or less wants to create drama. She sits here and says that she wants this to be some bonding trip. Bitch, you was a lie. Ain't nothing bonding. Ain't nothing bonding about this trip like a tracks on your scalp. It's not that bonding. It really isn't. And I don't understand why she's trying to fake the funk. At the end of the day, let's be real. You want to clock Nene's tea, let's clock yours. You're not real. At least most of the time you aren't. You feel self-righteous about a lot of the decisions that you make, but you're not necessarily real. You're not. But it's all right. No problem. We're not going to read. The read comes from everyone else in the cast, toward everyone else in the cast. When we get to this couple's makeover, and she says, oh, we're not going to ask questions, that's going to start drama. Use a lie, bitch. What? You know what? I really think that Kenya more or less sucked Apollo's dick. I really do. Portia says, do you like wild sex or do you like romantic sex? My response is I like both. And both at the same time. Start off romantic, then get wild, then get back to sensual romanticism, then get wild and crazy like Tarzan fucking that girl without a condom. You know, something rough and wet and wavy. You know, wet and wavy. Not wet and shitty, but wet and wavy. She proceeds to say that she thinks that older men like to take their time and move slow because she prefers wild sex. And then Peter or Patricia gets up and she's like, you know what, sit down, we don't have time for this, I, to be honest, really don't understand why Peter thought, well, yes I do, he's old. His pubic hairs are white. Then Nene chimes in because she's like, her question is, what annoys you about a couple in the room or in the group? And I'm like, Kenya, you're trashy, you're sneaky, you're conniving. And I love it, doll, I love it. But I'm really tired of these setup situations. I more or less am like, we just need to keep the drama and make it natural. Don't set it up. These setup moments are just ridiculous. Then we get in this whole battle back and forth about age and how you should know your truth and don't be ignorant and don't make ignorant comments. And then Todd wants to chime in. To be quite honest, I was here for Candy. Candy was reserved. Candy was like, ain't nobody checking for what's going on in your panties. Maybe Greg is, but don't nobody care about your panties, and I'm not checking for them. Todd was like, it's all about the delivery and how you deliver the pizza. I'm like, you're damn right, because if my pizza comes back smushed, I'm smushing you. So yeah, it's about your delivery. But Nene is off in post-confessional talking about, I don't have to watch what I say to Todd. Who's Todd? I'm like, Nene, you're a hot mess. But let's clock the T on Nene. Why is it that when people challenge her, she backs down? She doesn't want to admit things. I don't get that. It doesn't make any sense. Kenya asked about the whole Marlo situation. Nene doesn't want to talk about it. But when Nene probes questions toward people have to divulge a response because Nene wants to hear about it. I thought this was very cowardice, very tacky, very two pieces making one piece above the forehead. It just was not cute. Nene, boo. You need to learn that the show doesn't revolve around you anymore. It just doesn't. It revolves around the cast, to be honest. Let's clock the T. Damn near half the season was about Portia and Cordell, and Candy and Todd, and Phaedra, Apollo, and Kenya. It only became about Nene recently, and what was that, like 2 episodes and we were done? I mean, really? I'm just saying. So I really don't like when Nene tries to act like, you know what I'm saying? And then she wants everybody else to be real. I liked how Candy said that you get Botox though, cause Nene was like, I don't have bags under my eyes. Well, bitch, you do get Botox. We know this. Let's cut to the scene where Phaedra calls Kenya ratchet and manipulative. And she says, I really don't like you, and it's clear that I don't. And I need you, and I want you to stay away from my man. Let's clock the T on that. Kenya is trying to validate herself, saying that I don't need your man and don't speak for your man because your man wants to be friends with me and you don't know what your man wants. Kenya, sit down. Sit down. There's no reason for you to be friends with Apollo. Why are you even doing that? That's not cute. It's really not cute. And then Portia wants to get all up into the mix because Phaedra mentioned that Kenya, more or less, doesn't have a man. We all know she doesn't have a man. We all know she created one in the form of Walter. But we also know that Walter is, I mean, you can clock that T just like you can clock Cordell's T. But ain't nobody trying to sip that because the tea's been sitting out for a long time and it's now cold. And I don't really know who does cold tea on a regular basis. Not even Starbucks. I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, Phaedra and Portia got Kenya together, and it was hard for Kenya to come out of it, more or less. So she kind of went below the belt. Kenya, don't be mad, boo, when you created the situation. And then all the girls get up. They come to some kind of resolve. They get up, and then they go to the men. Now the men are acting up like a bunch of bitches, fighting. Greg wants to challenge Patricia for arguing with Nene. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, Greg, you had ample opportunity when you were right there in Patricia's face when Patricia was arguing with Nene. Now all of of a sudden you want to act big and bold on this trip? You've been harboring all this energy because you want to act big and bold on this trip? It's not cute. I really thought, though, that Greg was going to punch Peter in the face. I really thought that. But then when he said, psh, I was like, he ain't real. He ain't about that business. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to try to check what's mine in front of me, you would have got checked when you tried to check what was mine in front of me. What? Y'all know what I'm saying out there? Y'all know when it went down like that. Peter and his wrinkled dick and Greg and his wrinkled dick would have got checked by an unwrinkled one. You know, Todd tries to break it up, but Apollo's like, don't get into it, Todd. You don't want to get into trouble like I did beating up on a queen. The ladies intervene and they see the guys arguing. Kenya starts to cry because she doesn't want the men getting argumentative. She sees that Greg is really serious. And she sees that this has become a serious situation because of her and her nonchalant foolery and buffoonery and fuckery. Nanny calls Peter a bitch. And then that ends the episode. But I'm going to tell you like this. The fact that Peter speaks his mind doesn't make him a bitch. The fact that Peter said that he actually cared for a friend that was doing well and made herself look stupid in front of 100 people, that was real. And Nene could not grasp the concept of that. So I was thinking to myself, Nene, take off the hat, boo. Take off that bald scully and understand what's taking place. You acted out of pocket at the masquerade ball, boo. You did. So let's just end this. All the while, Cynthia ain't saying a motherfucking thing. Cynthia, you're gorgeous. I'm glad you don't have the fibrosis, whatever that was called. You look beautiful. Titties look natural. But girl, get a backbone. Do we need to implant that one into you? I'm glad Candy was able to just chill this episode. I'm glad Ty was able to just chill this episode. Phaedra doesn't like Kenya, and I don't blame her. But Phaedra, you need to not easily forgive Apollo like that. Apollo's in the wrong just like Kenya's in the wrong. I'm Twan Rose. I need y'all to leave your comments below the videos. Let me know if I should continue doing these reviews or if you want Wesley to come back. Later.